just like to show you the Exciplex kit you would get when you will purchase an Exciplex. So, you will get a full set with the Exciplex itself, with one production tip already put on it. You will also get 6 of them, so with different size, spot size. You will also get protective goggles for your patient and one for the doctor. You will get a stand on the kit, so you will be able to put the Exciplex on it, just like that. Okay? You will also get a power supply and also a power cable to put on the power supply on. Then you will get also 3 different silicone masks, like that. So the doctor will be able to use reduction tips or silicone mask, depends. And at the end, there is also the service manual, which explains how to use the Exciplex and how to perform treatment, and to get also information about warning and error codes. Thank you. Now I'm going to show you how to open and close, disassemble, assemble and close an Exciplex. For this, you will need one torque spanner, one X 2mm, one nut spanner, one knife to remove the Exciplex stamp, and one to remove the electrode inside the bulb. So, first you need to unlock this with the dot spanner. Then use the torque spanner to open the Then you use a knife. You use a knife to unstick and you can remove the shell carefully. Be careful to remove the shell straight. First, you will need to remove the output glass window. Then you remove the fan filter, and then you remove the filter. Now you can remove the bulb and mirror assembly with the H3B. So carefully remove, disconnect the H3B with the power board and remove it carefully. Then you will remove the power cable harness connector from the power board. And you can slide up the power board. Disconnect the flat connector from the power board and you've just removed the power board. Now we will remove the power cable harness. For this you need to carefully remove this cable and then disconnect the LVB cable from LVB board. Put it on the side. Then you will have to remove the screen. So you move it up, turn it, and carefully unlock the connector to remove the flat cable. Now you have to remove the trigger, so unlock the nut, put it up and carefully disconnect this connector from the LVB board. Now you can slide up the LVB board, carefully unlock the connector of the display and remove the flat cable. The same with the power connector. Remove the cable. Now you will need to change the screwdriver to use the 2mm X screwdriver. Okay, and you will remove the screw for the photodiode board. You've just fully empty an Exciplex device. Now, if you have to change the bulb and mirror assembly, or if you have to change the HVB board, you will have to remove the electrode inside of the bulb. So you use the screwdriver and now you will need this tool to get inside the bulb. Go deep enough and press to remove the electrode from the HVB from the bulb. You just have a fully disassembled Exciplex device. So you first need to assemble the HVB board with the bulb and mirror assembly. So first you need this tool to insert the electrode inside the bulb. So pay attention that the electrode has to be inserted in this way and take care that the nail of the bulb is on this side. This needs to be on top to get the best power of the bulb. So you just insert the electrode inside the bulb and pay attention when you place the electrode that it has to be in the middle of the bulb. And release and remove. Now you will have to connect the ground cable with the bulb and mirror assembly, like that. I recommend to start to build an Exciplex device starting by the photodiode side, and then you will put all the parts of the Exciplex one by one. So first you need to use the screw and the photodiode board. It has to be like that. Then take the low voltage board and connect the flat cable from the power board, the power flat cable, and also the display flat cable. Please remind that you need to lock the connector to make sure that the cable is well maintained. Now you can insert the LVB board inside the shell following the... Bref, j'ai des trous noirs là. Photodiode connector may be connected with the photodiode, and place the flat cable inside the shell. Now you can insert the display, so it has to be connected on the control side and not on the keyboard side. So unlock the connector and put the flat cable and lock cable. Now you can slide the screen into the shell. Now we will use the power cable harness. First, I recommend to connect the communication cable with the LVB board. Then you follow the route like that, and you lock the cable. You can put in place connector and the power, the turn on button. Okay. Pay attention that the cable has to be below the power board. Now we will connect the trigger. The trigger cable has to be between the flat cable and the LVB board. You can connect it on the first connector named trigger and press to make sure that the connector is well connected. You can adjust the nut to make sure that the trigger won't move. Now you can connect the flat cable with the power board. So unlock the connector first, and then you put the cable in place and you lock the connector to maintain the flat cable. So you need to slide the power board with the shell into the shell and connect the power cable connector on it. Now we will put in place the HVB board and the bulb and mirror assembly into the shell. So there are some so put the the bulb and mirror assembly into the shell like that. Make sure that it don't move. So, and then you connect the HVB board with the power board. Be careful with this connector, make sure that you won't miss any connection. And now you just see that the HVB board is well in place. The bulb is well in place also. So now we can put the output window. As you see, there is the thinner part needs to be inside the device when you slide it down to the shell. Now we can put the fan filter. So there is a shape, and this shape needs to be like that. Now you can take the fan. It has to be, the connector has to be down to the right and on the internal side of the shell to have the good air flow into the shell. Put it like that. Here, make sure that the cable do not goes into the screw way, and connect the fan connector to the power board. Make sure that the wire won't be on the way when you will close the device. Before closing the device, just make sure that all cables are well connected. Make sure that the cable are on the good way, and then you can close the Exciplex. So take the other part. First you need to look at the window, at the display, and at the fan filter when you will put the shell. And then finally you will have to look at the power connector. Now you need to use the screwdriver and make sure that it has been set at 31 nanometer for the torque. So you need to close the first corner first, and then you will need to close to screw the other one. I recommend to first screw at 70%, and then you will finish. Now you need to use a nut spanner in order to lock the input connector. Like this. Make sure that this is on top and that the power cable harness, the harness is on the left. And now you can just close and lock the cable, the connector. And finally you need to stick the sticker, and you just build an Exciplex. Thank you. In order to perform a calibration, you will need the Exciplex stand, and an optometer with a UV head to measure the UV out of the Exciplex. You also need to wear protective goggles in any case. So first, you need to connect the power cable to the Exciplex and turn on the Exciplex. You do the 308 code and you go to the service menu. Do the code 159753 and valid. So, to know the output power of the Exciplex, just plug the UV head with the Exciplex like this. Yeah, and you can leave it on the stand. Now you need to turn on the optometer. And make sure that the optometer is on mode pulse energy. Now you can perform a shot in free run mode. Okay, you see that the Exciplex is about 100 milliwatt per centimeter square. Otherwise, we'll have to adjust the value on the limit window and set the IMAX value. Now you can go to the calibrate menu and perform a calibration. So, in order to perform a calibration, you need to press run and start. This will make a dose measurement. You stop, you get the value from the optometer and you refer the value to the Exciplex. You will have to round the value. Press OK and start again. You will have to perform this 5 times. Before pressing OK, just make sure that the values are good and the error is below 2%. You will have to refer the old value, the new value, and the and the new value into the form. If calibration is OK, you can valid, otherwise you just press no. So you just perform an Exciplex calibration. In order to perform an automatic calibration, you will need a Y cable provided by Clarteis. So it's an input connector with power and communication. This one is only power, and this one has to be connected with your computer. So first, connect the power cable and connect the power cable to the Y cable, and you can connect this connector to your PC. Also, you will need this connector, this cable, to be connected with the optometer. So you need to connect it on the optometer, and you can plug the other one on your PC. Now you go to the menu, mode, and go to remote RS232. Say OK, enter, and now the optometer will be detected by the application. Now you can turn on the Exciplex. As soon as the Exciplex is connected with the Y cable, it will be on the USB mode. Now you can go to the application and go to the calibration menu. The Exciplex starts itself, and it has been detected. Here you can see the serial number. You will have to fill all the form, and now you can start the calibration. You just have calibrate an Exciplex with the Exciplex application. The form is already filled with all data, and you get the different settings and calibration values and the date, and you will see the next calibration date and your signature. Thank you.